one of the original. I'm a OG, one of the original.
Robin is not here. He has, oh, hold on, let me just turn on the light for a better view. Robin is not here because he has exams, and most of the time that takes a day. But if you're in school for a graphic design, you also have to do some graphic designing. So this exam takes 3 weeks, so the whole month he is not here working with me. So on Pick a Painting, Tell the Story, the weekend special, I have nobody to help me. So I figured I'm just gonna go into my studio and see if there are some paintings that we not... okay, yeah, that... Some paintings that... Sorry, I looked at something that I can talk about. So I'm gonna find some paintings that are in here that I have not talked about. And one thing I see right away is this customized art toy. I'm gonna bring him. And I put him down here. Let me see, there are some paintings back here. Now they're all in progress pieces. This one I don't think I spoke about. Let me edit here. And I believe, yes, well, it's not done yet. Yes, spoke about this one, spoke about the robot. Oh, this one. Yeah. So I guess I have 3 things to talk about. So let's bring them into a room with some better light and I can talk about them. First painting, okay. I hit the shutter now. Not sure. It's hard to say with this lens. First painting I want to talk about is this piece. As you might notice, let me just take away my leg. It's painted in 2010. Very small signature there. I do that sometimes, don't ask me why, it just happens. And the painting is Spider-Man's face. And it's from a phase where a section of my life, where I try to recreate 3D images. I was obsessed, or not obsessed, but I saw these 3D images, the 3D movies were coming up, so I figured, can a painting be really 3D also? So I looked what colors they use in the old, you know, those old, I think I saw Jaws once, it was in 3D, and you had red and you had blue, so I looked at the colors that they use, and these colors came closest. They use gray, so his shape of his head is gray, his eyes are gray. They used white and black and white. Black is in here, white is in here. And they used red and of course blue. Then I went online and I ordered some of these 3D glasses so I can see the result if it worked. And I did about 3-4 paintings, a gun, a flower, a face and Spider-Man. And I did them all with bends, with curves. I always paint straight, but I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do it this time. So also even the lines that are made, the makeup is the lines of his face. They are crooked. These are bent. So everything is bent. I painted like this the whole time. I signed it, and then I took out my 3D glasses, put them on, and saw nothing. It totally does not work, but I liked the result, so I did some more, although I knew it was not gonna really work. But so I had the Spider-Man face. I actually kind of like, I don't do, in the beginning of my career I did lots of famous known things, like comic things, like famous people, movie stars, rock stars. But then I guess you could never tell if somebody likes the artist or likes Spider-Man, or like, you know, or do they like your painting. If they say, oh, that Michael Jackson piece is cool, you don't know if they like it because it's Michael Jackson and they recognize it and they are a fan or they know Michael. So, and when you paint something that is unknown to people, at least they judge it. I mean, they can still judge it on color, but at least they judge it on what they see. So I guess in my process I stopped doing. I do it every now and then, or in like in a Julep Man piece, you might see famous things come up. I do it if somebody tells me that I can go and meet Obama, I probably make him a painting of himself or his wife, but in general I don't do that anymore. So this is Spider-Man 3D that turned out not to be 3D. That's the first painting I want to talk about. I have no assistant this time, so I have to do everything by myself. Second thing I want to talk about is this art toy. It is actually a key. You can see it right here. I believe it's by Kid Robot, and it is a pretty big one and a pretty expensive one as well. These are, for people that don't know, they are designer toys. Art toys, designer toys, and they are not toys for kids. They are toys for big kids, for mostly men, I think they collect them. People collect them. And they have them in all different shapes, and if you look close from footage of my office, my studio, you might see some now and then, because I used to collect them also. And there is a separate line where they make them do-it-yourselves, white dice, do-it-yourselves. And they come in plain white or sometimes in black, and people like me, artists or graphic designers or anybody that just wants to play, you can create your own toy. And this one is called Guantanamo Bay. And when you take a closer look, you can see that he has these lines that are true with my my brush. So you could say that this art toy is tortured because I guess he did something bad in the art toy world, and they had to get it out of him. So they put tape over his mouth so he cannot scream, because he was screaming at night. And he was tortured, but it was an experiment, and I also draw some stuff on it, and one time he used to be a totally different thing. Oh yeah, here you can see the marks, pretty good, the markings. Oh, and he fell down, by the way. But this test thing, it's in my office. It's just stands there. It's not something I show, but it got me. It got me hooked on the idea of a doll that I do now for my dyslexia project. And in Holland, dyslexia, we sometimes call it woordblind. Woord meaning words, and blind meaning blind. Word blind, you can sort of say. It's a strange combination if you say it in English, but in Dutch, I guess it's just a word for dyslexia, another word for dyslexia. So now I did this art toy where he has no eyes, and he has no mouth, he's taped and he has no eyes, so he has no words, and he is blind, word blind. So this is that art toy that you might see in the future, came out of this one, this Guantanamo Bay test that I used to do. Okay, next painting, this was of no painting, of course. It is a piece from my Julep Man line, my Julep Man collection. And let me just show you up close. Here is the tulips. It is based in Amsterdam, or painted in Amsterdam. Here are some people with cheese hats on a clock, and here are hamburger windmills. Hamburger windmills, very exciting stuff. Hamburger windmills. Put you back for a bit. Oh, there we go. This was, it's been actually never been shown to the world. It was made after I did a show in Dubai. And then there was a guy in the gallery in Dubai, and he said to the gallery owner, when I was back in Holland, he said, can this artist also do something with Julep Man in London? And can you also do something with Julep Man in Amsterdam? So the gallery owner called me up and said, can you? I said, well, I don't know. And I said, yes, sure, I can try. So I came up with this one, and I came up with one from London. And actually the one from London is sold, not to the man that asked, because the man that asked never came back to the gallery. So I did two paintings. Yeah, there you go. You think it, you say it, I think it. And I did this Amsterdam one, and this is sort of more in a jokey way, you know, it's not a very serious painting. Julep Man also sometimes has funny angles. So the people that bought the London one had to make a choice between this one and the London one, and they decided on the London one, A, because it was cooler, and B, because the girl that is with the guy that bought the painting is a vegetarian, and when she figured out that the paintings or that the windmills were made out of hamburgers with bacon, you see here, and a ham on it, it's like a really cheesy, meaty hamburger, she sort of figured that she didn't want this one in the living room when there is all meat in it. I guess for some people a good reason. I don't judge people on anything, but that's the reason why they didn't pick this one. So they picked the London one, and I kept this one, and it is a funny interpretation of what can happen in Amsterdam if Julep Man is there. I guess that was the weekend special. I want to ask your attention for the vlog that is on Sunday night. It will be a cool one. I'm going to be traveling with my manager to Belgium and to a few meetings in Holland, and I hope you get to meet Orlando for the first time on the vlog on camera. I've talked about him a lot, but now you can see him. This was the weekend special. We'll be back next week. Check you later.